Oh, hi. It's me, Renee. Um, it has been a heavy couple of days, has it not? It's been a heavy, like 11 weeks, right? And so, um, I just wanted to check in, wanted to see how you were doing, but also wanted to give an update on some things. So I just left Costco, and here's the thing. I struggled with extreme panic and anxiety for years, and maybe for the past 6 years, to the point where when it was its worst, I couldn't get out of bed. It was just a struggle. If I wasn't getting paid to go somewhere, I wouldn't have gone. And so that has been my struggle. I went through like a lot of therapy, a lot of prayer, and a lot of stuff to really get manageable. And so, hi, happy birthday, June, Jen, hello, and Cheryl. And so I say that all that to say that it is an interesting time to have mental health challenges during not just a pandemic that's extremely communicable, not just social unrest and all of that, but also just a media mongering society. And how do you just deal with all of that shenanigans? And initially, I wasn't going to do this video live. I was going to pre-record it just because there's so much to say. And I feel like I want to do the right thing by you and be completely transparent. And so here's what I'll say. I went to Costco because I heard that Costco may be closing because of the riots and looting. And I was going to go with Marissa, who's one of my best friends, because I felt safer to go with her. However, the background is that they have closed both the north and southbound 101 near Palo Alto. And so I got a little bit nervous that I was going to get stuck on the south side of town and not be able to make it back. And so I called my sister. Hey, George. I called my sister and was like, hey, I think I'm going to go to Costco. And my sister was like, I don't think you should go. But I have this weird thing ever since I had like panic and anxiety that I don't like anybody to tell me that I should be afraid of anything because I don't like to be afraid. And so I feel like it's debilitating the level of like panic and anxiety that I struggle with. And so, hi at the Marbell. And so it's just debilitating, right? And so for me, I just was stuck. Like I get to the Costco and I'm thinking, oh my God, like my panic and anxiety roots from PTSD because I was robbed at gunpoint. And so, hi, Auntie Tess. So I was robbed at gunpoint because I worked at a bank twice, and really kind of stuffed down anxiety with like addiction and just ridiculousness, right? And so I have done intensive amounts of therapy. Oh, hi, Queen Mike. I have done intensive amounts of therapy. I have a therapist. I work with somebody, and had worked with somebody, and at some point biweekly, and have really gotten a handle of that. I've been very, very proud of myself because through this whole entire thing, I've really been able to manage my peace really well. I've used all of my tools, everything, but what really set your girl off was the fact that there's straight up riots down the street from my house, right? So I live over in like the east side of San Jose. Very much, there's a pretty national photo that's kind of around now of a girl that's kneeling in front of the police. That photo was taken maybe like 5 blocks away from my house, right? Pretty whatever. And so June is asking, why do you not know that I had crippling anxiety? I don't really know how I would tell people that. Like, I don't know how. It's a hard thing because I think people assume that anxiety looks a certain way. And my anxiety was a very, you know how there's like functioning alcoholics? I was a functioning, depressed, panicked person. And so for me, I was able to get to work, put work on, and then come home and be completely nervous about everything. And so what I'm saying is I went to Costco and I had a complete and utter breakdown. Like, I was in the parking lot and it was just everything. It was like, oh my God, like, are there people going to loot this place? Am I fast enough? Should something happen? Like all of the things that you start to think about. And if you've ever had like panic and anxiety, what ends up happening is it's just this magnification of the worst case scenario. And it's actually worked for you in life because you can see the worst case scenario and you end up, one of the kind of contrasts to that is you could be extremely controlling. And so you control your environment. I'm totally sweating because I'm nervous. Anyways, is that you can completely control your environment. And so you don't do anything that you're not in control of. And one of the things that I had to learn was to surrender and release control to areas of my life, to the people that I trust. And not just anybody, like don't trust anyone like with your life, but people I trust. I learned how to trust systems and trust the way that things are. And so when you actually pop off and get this type of situation where there's riots and looting and people are not making any sense. Like there is just no sense is being made, right? Like I think it was on Friday, people were like, they closed down the 101 and then they were breaking open like windows and stuff. And it was just like, it's like, what the hell are y'all doing? Like, and so it gets to the point where you can't trust the system because people are acting outside of the system. And so it's a huge trigger for somebody like me who wants to control everything, right? And so the reason why I say that is because I think that there's a lot of people under a lot of pressure right now. It's also a lot just going on from left and right and having to answer things and wanting to correct things and wanting to be like, yo, maybe some of my friends are racist. And like, and which is true. Like, okay, wait a minute. Like we super don't see things the same way. And even if it's a systemic racism where you maybe don't understand, whatever. And so, for me, it's hard to control that. So I get this feeling of like uncontrol. And it's a feeling that it's physiological. It's not even, my brain says that is not real. My body completely is shutting, is like this. And so one of the things that you have to remember when people have panic and anxiety is that could happen, is it like overtakes your body and you're like completely losing control of your body. And if you're somebody that likes control, it'll frustrate you and it'll make you want to cry. And so I think ultimately what I'm saying to people is, one, like June said, I had never knew that. I want to just say that, hey man, I see you. It's hard. We need to give ourselves grace, but also, hi at the Jet. Also, we don't want to stop ourselves from being brave, and there's moments of bravery and there's moments of like, you know what? Cool. I'm going to stay home and eat ice cream. Today for me was like, if I don't do this today, if I don't go out and go to Costco today, I don't want to be one of those people that get stuck in my house because I'm afraid of people. Like, I don't know. I don't want that to be the case. And again, part of that is anxiety because it's going all the way left. And it's like, oh my God, all of a sudden I'm agoraphobic and I'm Gilbert Grape's mom. You know what I mean? And so ultimately, I think I just want to say, like, if that's you right now and you're struggling, I just want to say, like, it's cool, man. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself a little bit of like, what can I handle today? Also, what is triggering? Here's for me. I am having to limit my my social space to like 1 hour a day. Like that's as much as I can do. I can't, and if you know me, I love social media. And so I'm having to literally say, okay, that's it. Like an hour a day, because I don't care if I'm uninformed or don't know. It's too much. It's too much information. It's too much different sides of the story. It's too much arguing. It's too much, this is the video I saw, that's the video I saw. It's too much in my heart that when I see misinformation that wants to clarify information, that wants to, like, when people say, oh, well, this was a peaceful protest, not understanding the full chapter of the book, which is peaceful protests that led to riots. You know what I mean? Like, and it's frustrating to me because I carry people of color, Black people in specific, in my heart. I feel like I want to war for them, and I want to be like, hey, like, I see you and I stand with you, but I also need to make sure that I'm setting boundaries and set standard for myself to be like, not at the cost of yourself and not at the cost of your mental, you know? And for me, because it's a question I'm answering, which is how am I managing it? One, I limit my caffeine to anything before 2:00. I really don't drink any caffeine till after 2. I also am really weird. I don't like Pepsi products. I also limit the amount of sugar I have. That has been a major thing for me. Sugar and gluten makes me just feel anxious. That's physical stuff, right? Mental stuff, like I just said, I'm limiting. I'm just realizing like, hey, too much. I am taking in too much in my brain. It's, I'm reading too much. I'm going down rabbit holes of like YouTube videos and wanting to research history and wanting to understand like what my place in history is. And I'm putting too much pressure on myself, when really all that's asked for me right now is to pray. Like, all that I am getting asked to do right now is to pray and be a friend. And like that revolution, I'm not putting on my backpack fully full of like everything until I get physically called to do that. Just because it's not mentally safe for me to do that. And so I want to just encourage that. I also think that it's important that you like unplug and also choose the hill that you're going to die on. I'm not going to get in every argument online. It's just not going to be what I'm going to do. I did that a little bit on Saturday and Sunday. I'm only going to choose the ones that are valuable to me, or even people that I have a relationship with. I'm really just not going to go on a random Twitter rant and be like, let me talk to you, you know? So there's that. And also I think getting enough rest is going to be really important for me. It's hard to rest when you hear so many like helicopters and sirens and all of these things, and you're reading the news. And so I am going to completely unplug and read like a physical book versus reading online. And also I've had to be very like upfront with my friends and say like, hey man, I just can't talk about that right now. Like, I really don't want to discuss it. Like, I need like an unplug moment where we're not talking about that because I'm really at my hilt. And so I share that with you because I think it's always important to say like, I see you and I'm with you, just the same way that I feel that way about people of color and Black people. Like, I see you, I'm with you, I'm warring with you. I am saying it to people that are struggling right now with panic, anxiety, nervousness, fear, is I see you, I acknowledge you, and I'm praying. Today when I was at Costco, I almost turned my car around and was like, I don't go in there, forget it. I don't know if they're going to loot me. I'm not sure. And, like, I sat in the car and was like, you know what? Like, my friend Marissa was on the phone with me, and I was like, I just plead the blood of Jesus over myself. Like, I am protected. God is going to protect me. God is not going to leave me. And, God is not going to let me like be put in harm's way. And God is going to continue to do what he's always done, which is protect me. And so I had to like go down the list of all of the times that I made it home safe, that I made it through like things that like have been bad. And I was like, the blood of Jesus rebuke fear, and really had to stay my course and say that Psalm 91, which I've said a lot, which is pestilence and plague, like they leave me alone. And I remind the enemy that in the Passover, the blood said that you had to pass me by. And for those of you that aren't spiritual, that's cool. You can borrow my prayers. They work, which is there is no fear in perfect love, and perfect love casts out all fear. And God, you love me perfectly, and I will not be afraid. And I will walk in victory and in grace, and like literally, and it sucks because you have to put a mask on and like you already can't breathe. So then you feel like even worse. And then like literally walk in there and being like, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Like, I'm like a little kid. Like, I'm not scared. I'm not going to be scared. Like, I'm not going to be scared. Like, and it's like, I literally feel fear and do it anyway. And so I just want to encourage you that just because you're feeling fear, that's freaking natural. There's a pandemic, political unrest, there's craziness, people are being crazy. And so so you have to just learn how to stand your post. My cousin in San Diego says the one in San Diego was extremely scary. And that's the facts, is that there's a lot of like people that are, that you can't trust. Like, I cannot trust, you're crazy. Like, and so for me, that's a huge issue, you know? And so, if I can't trust people, what I can do is trust God, and I can trust that greater is he that lives within me than he that it is in the world. And so that has really been my deal, that and not drinking a lot of coffee and drinking a lot of water. Today, I'm probably going to have a cocktail, but not too many cocktails, because, you know, your girl's having a little too much fun on quarantine. And so I just wanted to encourage you and just say that you are perfect in every way, and that you're doing the best you can to manage through some crazy, unspeakable crap, man. Like, and so let's be kind and gracious to one another, and let us be, more importantly, gracious to ourselves. I just want to pray for you and just say that today, if you're struggling with panic and anxiety, today I pray that God would be your Prince of Peace, and that you would know that the Maker in heaven and earth perfects that which concerns you. That, and it's funny because somebody like me, how am I praying for you? Like, the fact is, I'm praying for you because I felt it, because in my weakness, he has been strong. And so I would want you to hear it from someone like me versus someone that's like, oh, all you gotta do is say a prayer. Like, I'm not saying that it lifts stuff off of you. I'm saying you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna have the strength to overcome it. And so I would rather hear that from somebody that's been through it than someone that's trying to tell me what to do. You know what I hate is when people try to tell me how to be single. Like, but you ain't been single in like since Craigslist ads. So how you gonna tell me how to be single? Like, how am I gonna tell you how to maneuver through panic and anxiety if I've never experienced it myself? And so I just want to remind you that like you've made it through 100% of all of your worst days. And so today, I say, if it's a day that's like super heavy, dude, don't engage. Like, watch some Friends, watch some Big Bang Theory, eat an ice cream, like read a book, talk to a girlfriend, play a game, play some Candy Crush, do whatever it takes to make sure that that you're able to get some rest time. And the hard part is we're sitting in front of computers all day, so it's telling you what to listen to. And so I just want to, and then, you know, like, you're dealing with people that are calling you dumb all day. Like, oh, don't be a sheep, or don't be a lemming. And like, don't believe the media. And it's like all of this stuff of people telling you what to do, and it just doesn't feel normal. Like, it just doesn't feel right. I mean, and I was telling my girlfriend, but generally in life, my instincts are pretty strong. And so panic and anxiety is difficult because my instincts completely flip. They don't know exactly how to deal. And so I have to not rely on my feeling, but on the truth of what God's created me to be. And so I just wanted to encourage you. It's rough. It's rough. Let's acknowledge it's rough. I'm not even gonna play and be like, it's fine. It's gonna be fine. We don't know that. Like, here's what I know. What I know is it's rough and God is able. That's all. That's all I need to know. I don't know how it ends. I don't know what goes on, but I know it's rough. It's challenging. For some rougher than the others. And choose your battles, and it's rough, but God is able. And so let's let him be able. And so I just want to encourage you. Don't feel bad for me. I'm a fighter. I'm from the east side of San Jose. And I will even tell myself, girl, you better get out this car and you better get your Costco. I needed to get Costco because I'm in love with these like seaweed things that they sell there that are 1 gram net carb. And I needed Diet Coke, and I needed like broccoli. Like, that stuff needed to happen. Anyway, if you know of anybody that's struggling with panic and anxiety, feel free to tag them in this. They can feel free to contact me. If I can be of any help to you, feel free to text, call, email, whatever. I love you guys. I promise Dem Blondes is coming this week. I was supposed to film on Saturday, but it got mad heavy. And so there's that. So I love y'all. And I pray God's peace upon you. May he bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you. And that you would walk in the fullness of who you're called to be. Love ya. Bye.